Without further ado, because he's not going to wait for us all day long, even though he made me wait an extra hour to talk to him today. Claude Giroux, welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Claude,
Good,
something tells me you planned your workout, and then after you have to allot for an extra 20 minutes because once Tony gets talking, right, you might be there for a while.
Yeah, he can talk for a bit, but it's always a treat to kind of listen to him talk.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Maybe a little espresso after as well and chill.
Oh yeah, a few for sure. A few.
All right. So, what have you been up to lately? I know you have. We'll get to your golf at the end, and I don't want Yorkie to hijack this as a golf podcast. But what else have you been up to this summer?
Yeah, I mean, I got two boys, young boys, so they keep us busy. Just training, skating, and golfing. Not as much as I would like to, but just staying busy with the family.
By the way, is Gavin going to start his own podcast? Because I'm a little nervous about the competition.
Oh boy, I don't know, but he can talk a lot, that's for sure. And I don't think that's something he wants to do.
Fair enough. All right. Can we get right to this summer? And you give me your thoughts on everything that's happened. I don't want to get through all the names just yet, but of all the changes that have happened to this roster and your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things happened. Obviously, Steve made some moves, and we got some older players to come in and kind of help the team. And I think Olmark's probably the biggest name. You know, the last 2 years he really had some great years. I think he got the Vezina 2 years ago. So we're extremely happy to have him on our side.
Claude, we had Linus on with us a couple of weeks ago, and he was pretty funny. Like, most Swedes are all good guys. You know the saying, you never made a bad Swede. But he was talking about some of the chirping, and he goes, I'm glad I got Claude here because we've had some pretty good back and forth on the ice. And he gave you a lot of credit for some of your jabs, but he says he's got a few good ones in there too.
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time scoring on him for a few years, and so I try to get in his head a little bit. I know it is a rule you can't really talk to goalies, but I might have said a few things to him during the game to tell him where I'm going to shoot and try to shoot at a different spot.
Claude, you've had 2 great years since you came back to Ottawa, but at the same time, how pissed off are you than the fact that you haven't been in the playoffs?
It's frustrating for sure. Sign here, and I was very excited to join the team. And the first year we had a very good stretch. Thought we could have made the playoffs. We weren't very far, and then last year we took a step back. So it's no excuses, but you change coaches, change GMs, change owners. A lot of things happen, a lot of distraction. So excited for this year. Everything's set in stone. We have some players that are coming in that are going to definitely going to help us, and all the young players are just getting a year older. So no more excuses here, and we need to start winning some hockey games.
So are you? I don't want to belabor. I don't want to go into being frustrated for 2 years of not getting the results you want. But are you frustrated of being frustrated? And I know because you guys have been asked that for 2 years now about what's it going to take to turn and all that stuff. Are you feel fairly confident you guys are now headed in the right direction?
Well, I think the most frustrating thing is we know what we're capable of, and we'll have a few stretches, and we'll play against some of the best teams in the league, and we're going to dominate them, and then we play another game against maybe a team that shouldn't be in the playoffs, and we find a way to lose that game. And I think that's just the maturity of this team, and there's no doubt in my mind we're going to take a huge step this year. We're a team that's going to be very motivated, and not going to go through the year to start the year and say we're going to make the playoffs. We got to go one game at a time here. No need to put extra pressure on each other, and we just got to stick together. And a lot of times you see teams that don't succeed and they don't stick together, but that's not the case for this team. So we're all in this together, even coaches, players, and we're going to get out of this.
Claude, you just said something there about young guys naturally get better every year, and I've always said this about your team. When you look down the middle, You got Timmy, who's played 4 years in the league, but he's a young guy. You got Pinto, young guy. You got Ridley Gregg, young guy. Josh Norris, he's been hurt a lot, hasn't played a lot. So now all of a sudden, Timmy's a year older, Pinto's a year older, Greg's a year older. So you naturally, the more these guys see the league, they get better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you sometimes it takes a little longer to adapt to the NHL. It's a pretty good league, so you know when you learn a lot from a year, especially a year when you're not winning. That's probably the years you're going to learn the most. You know, when you keep losing and you keep um, not finding ways, and then it might one day it might just click, be like, oh, this is how we got to do this, and you know that's what needs to happen this year. It needs to click. It needs to. We need to be consistent, and that's one thing that if we're consistent in what we do, we're just gonna win more than we lose. So I think that's gonna be very important.
Claude, how
Are
good?
there
Sorry, one more for Claude. How good was Jacques? How good was Jacques coming in for the group at the end like that?
No, he was good. I mean, a lot of guys all the guys had respect for him. He was calm. Sometimes he wasn't calm when he didn't when we needed him not to be. But you know, just his presence and his experience, I think we're able to learn a lot from him. And you know, it was great to have him behind the bench.
And to that, Claude, when you look and think about the Florida Panthers, again, I know a major trade after you're already there, but do you see some symmetry? The fact of, hey, some of the changes they made, the growth, and realizing, hey, you're not that far off. We won't say Stanley Cup, but at least we're not that far off from making the playoffs.
Yeah, but you look at our team last year. I think we had two guys that were over 30 years old, and you know, this is. And the guys that we just got, we got older, we got more mature, more experience, and because I strongly believe that leadership is not just one guy, and it's not on Brady, it's not on me, Brady, and Shabbat and Sanderson. It's everybody, and we need depends on the game, depends where we are. Sometimes we need the fourth line guy or the backup goalie to say something that that is the right words. So I mean at the end of the day, it's not what you say; it's how you do, and that's going to be important for us this year.
There's a few things I'll get to, but what did Steve Stais say to you in the exit meeting? Did he promise you or say this is what we're going to do to help? Did you get the feeling that this offseason there was going to be this kind of change?
Well, I mean, I'm not really going to discuss what we talked about, but I
Come
mean,
on.
no, I think we had great conversations. We were able to. I think there's a lot of conversation with other players, coaches, everybody kind of thinks the same way and how we need to take the next step. And you know, I think what Steve was able to do this summer, it's gonna start us out on the right foot.
Hey, Claude, I look at Nick Jensen, and everybody always talks about getting a right D. You need a right D. You played a lot against him. Like, I just think that guy's a real underrated guy. You watch him play, and sometimes, you know, the old saying, it's a guy you don't notice that much that helps them out the most. He just seems like he's going to be a real stable guy for you guys.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's not fun to play against. He doesn't do anything special. He's always good stick, good positioning, battles, competes, and you know some D's you won't even see him the whole game, and that's a good thing. If you don't notice a defenseman, it means he's doing his job. He's getting the puck out. He's killing plays. He doesn't have to play defense because the puck's always in the forward's hand. So I think he's that kind of player that's going to bring a lot of. He's going to break out the puck for us. You know, I'm not too sure who he's going to start playing with, but you know, just being able to have that chemistry with one defenseman, whether it's Shabby or Sandy, being able to have that chemistry early on, that would be huge for us.
How nice is it having David Perron? And I know you played against each other way, way back in the Quebec League, but just that overall feel, gee, when you look at him and think, hey, here's a nice vocal guy, confident guy, and a guy that, hey, has won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, for sure. You know, anytime you get a player that won the Stanley Cup that's been there or a long playoff run, it's like you know he's been through it. So, it's great to have a guy that's finally my age and being able to have that extra experience. And he won't even have to go in there and start talking and start yelling, or I mean, he just goes out there and works hard, and he just needs to play his game, and that's going to do the talking for him.
Have you two ever you've had words with, I think, everybody in the league. Have you and David Perron had words on the ice? I'm just curious if you two will be joking about it in the room.
No,
and then, of course,
no.
there is the Zub incident. So I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, but that's hockey. I mean, stuff like that's going to happen. And when a player comes to a team, and there's more jokes than anything else. So it's a good icebreaker. But no, I think our career's been pretty clean, me and him. So I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, Claude, I asked Dave this, and I'll ask you the same. You guys are the same age. You seem to be getting better the older you get. Like, what's the secret here? Because I didn't feel like you did when I was your age.
I don't know. The kids coming up, they're faster, they're stronger. You just gotta try to keep up, and I like to think that I can be pretty smart out there and not waste energy that I don't have to. And it's like I said, it's a pretty good league.
How good are the workouts with Tony? And you think about that kind of that longevity, but at the same time, hey, haven't missed a game in a couple of years. There has to be something to that.
Yeah, they suck. They're the worst. But when I'm done the workout, I know I got a little bit better. I know my cardio, I got a little stronger, and just to drive up there takes me 30 minutes to get there, and I'm just listening to music, trying to get jacked up for it. But it's Tony's been great for me. We've been together for 18 years now, 19. So we know each other very well. He knows what I respond to. He's not scared of pushing me, and I push him. So we have a good chemistry in the gym.
Have you changed anything over the last couple of years? It's leading me into the questions of, you just had a career 35 goal season 2 years ago. Like you've got, and as Yorkie said, gotten better with age. So it's a two-part. Have you changed much in your training over the last couple of years? And then I want to lead into how well things have gone since you've signed in Ottawa for your offensive production.
When I got my hip surgery and my 2 sports hernia, I didn't really have a choice but to start doing a little bit more hip stuff and recovery stuff. I didn't really do that when I was 20. When you're that young, you think you're invincible and you'll never get hurt. So, and then I started kind of focusing a little bit on more recovery and making sure that my body is prepared to, when you play on a Tuesday and then you play a Wednesday and then a Friday, if you don't do those stuff, like it's tough to play the game. So, I've been able to kind of stay on top of my body, and to be honest, I kind of feel right now at 36, I feel a little bit better than when I was 27. So, it's usually with time you just learn your body, you kind of understand what your body needs, and it's pretty much it.
It's crazy. It's crazy, Claude. Because you came into a league at the beginning when everybody was like, you got to do more. It's more. If you're not winning, you got to practice harder. Now it's like you got to rest a little more. You got to take care of yourself. I didn't even hear the word hip mobility 15 years ago. now that's all everyone's talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one thing for me. I kind of know my body. I know if I need some extra work in the gym. I know if I need that extra day off for practice, and depending on the minutes, depending on how physical the game was, and I think it's important, especially when you get a little older, to kind of, you just have to listen to your body.
Absolutely.
So can we go back to well, sorry, but you were when you first got here, there was questions about whether or not you could, if you had the same foot speed, if you were still, and I know it bothered you because you brought it up on our show. So I'm just curious now, 2 years later, of what you think about how it's gone for you, and how, like, you're third. I think you're third in the team in points over the last 2 years. You and Drake Batherson are the only 2 players to have played all 164 games. I just think, I don't know when you're going to slow down.
Yeah, I mean, footsteps still still trying to work on that. I know when you're
Seems
old,
to be okay.
I know, but it's important to, like I told you, like kids are coming in, they're 19, 20, and they're flying out there, and I just shake my head sometimes. But I did beat Pinto in a race
I
one
saw
lap
that.
this year. That was huge for my confidence, and made sure to let him know. But I don't know. I'm just having fun. I'm having fun every practice. I'm having fun playing the games. Sometimes I might not show it I'm having fun, but I'm having a blast. And
Yeah.
if we start winning, I'll definitely have a little bit more fun.
Is there also a realization, Claude, that hey, working smart and being a smart player means a lot versus necessarily flying around the ice?
Yeah, I think that's very important. I mean, one guy I learned that from was Chris Pronger. He would sometimes he'd finish the first period and no sweat, and he's the best player out there. And kind of realize the guy is just in good position, just good stick, and just plays the game the right way. So I definitely I was lucky enough to play with some great players when I was younger.
Okay, so it's clear you're in great shape. You're still putting up big numbers. This is the last year of your contract, and everybody has been asking me today, can you ask him about signing a contract extension? Have there been any chats about signing a contract extension with the Ottawa Senators?
No, we haven't chat. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. My main focus right now is having a good year with the Sens. Take that next step. I mean, those are just details that I don't need right now. No, I don't need those distraction, and everything's gonna take care of itself.
Is it going to be a distraction, though, if you get near trade deadline and nothing has happened?
I
Ooh.
don't think so. I mean, uh, you're being a distraction by talking about it right now, but no, I'm just kidding. But no,
I'll show myself out.
no, it's something that me and Steve we didn't really talk about. I haven't talked to my agent about it, or even my wife. It's not something on my mind right now. So I'm a strong believer. If you have a good season, you're playing well, everything's gonna work out by itself, and there's no secret behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I'll change
fine.
speeds here for a sec, Claude. Something you probably are thinking about right now. Are you getting ready to play in the tournament at Eagle Creek?
Yeah, it's definitely something I've been thinking about. Last year went okay, and last year I was playing more than I am this year. I haven't played in 11 days. Playing tomorrow. Very
Yeah.
excited to see how the game is. But like the whole week is awesome. Like we have a
Yeah.
practice round on Monday, Tuesday, and then the pro-am on the Wednesday, then the first round on Thursday, and Friday it's the second round. So try to mix in my workouts in there and then play that. But I don't have the confidence I had last year, but I love it. I love the rush. I love feeling uncomfortable. So um I mean, if you ask my wife, I'm doing a lot of golf swing in the house without a club, and she just looks at me and shakes her head. But it's awesome. Just golf is very very interesting game, very frustrating
Yeah.
game, but it's all mental. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, and it's just such a fun week. And last year we got a chance to meet some of the players, and these guys are good. Like
Yeah.
their misses are not even misses, and you got some guys that might play in the PGA in 2 years. So it's to see what they can do on the golf course. It's actually mind blowing. I knew they were good, but I didn't think they were that good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like these guys aren't even on the PJ Tour, and they'll go out and they'll destroy Eagle Creek. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
I played in that program last year, and
They
to
let you
watch
on the course?
I don't. Well, I was under a different name, so they.
Well, he's not invited back though. So
Those guys were so dialed. It's wild to watch how good they are. To think that they're not even on the PGA Tour and just how well they can place a ball. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Claude. Speaking, how good is Alfie playing right now? By the way, Jesus, like I played with him earlier this season. I know you guys had a match. He was
Yeah.
bragging. Is there going to be a
Of course it
rematch?
was. He won a few times. I beat him once at Eagle Creek, and I'm gonna keep that in my pocket. But yeah, he's playing some good golf. He's fun to play with. He's frustrating to play with actually, but he's definitely a better golfer than me.
Claude,
What's your ultimate foursome then? If you could pick four guys, or I'll say three players to play with
in the
Hockey
world, like
guys.
anybody.
I'm going to say 3 hockey players. Who would they be?
Oh God, I don't know.
Current Wally or all time?
No, they can be all time.
Okay,
All time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's so hard to say. I'm gonna say Danny Briere because he's almost as good as Alfie. So I'm gonna go Briere, Hartnell because he's just a clown, and I'll probably go Shane Pinto. He can bomb the ball and he's fun to be around. So
Claude, can Hart see golf? I used to play with in Nashville, and he was an awful golfer. Is he any better now?
well, he still says that he reminds me that he won the juniors back in where he was, but he's not a great golfer anymore. He'll shoot in the mid 80s and but he's a character for sure.
Oh, what a beauty!
Claude, what has life been like the last couple of years of just being in one place, like family wise? Like, what has the stability felt like?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely different. First time in my career that I only have one house, and it's been great. We love it here. Kids love it, family and friends, and it's definitely different, but we love it.
Okay, we haven't asked about training camp or Travis Green. So we've heard lots of stuff about Travis Green's training camps. Have you had a discussion to say, hey, I'm 36. I'll take the first 2 days off? Or are you looking forward to these training camps?
No, I'm excited about it. I think it's important to have a hard training camp. If you're done the training camp and you're going to play golf after, I don't think the training camp was hard enough. So I'm not trying to sound like a hero, but when I was with Philly and I got traded to Florida, I couldn't believe how hard the practices were, and I couldn't believe how hard the guys were going, and made me realize like okay, like good teams, they work, and if we want to win, we have to be in the best shape possible. If you have that edge over any team and you get in the third period and you're still fresh, you're gonna win more than you lose.
Claude, so when we had Allmark on, another thing, that's one of the first things he said, biggest difference when he went to Buffalo to Boston, he couldn't believe how hard Boston practiced. He said it was night and day, night and day.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think when you work hard in practice, the game becomes easier. So that's one thing that Travis has been talking about, having a hard camp, having hard practices. So it's going to be up to us, the players, the older guys, and the leadership group to kind of follow that message.
What has been missing the last couple of years, Claude? Like again, you talk about the work ethic, you talk about the culture, but what do you look at and say, hey, listen, this is a couple of things here that we really, really missed the last couple of years to not be in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, it's not just one thing. Power play could be going for 10 games, and then the next 10 games we can't do anything. And same for PK. Like, I think if there's one word we need more is just consistency, because we know we can do it. We just need to do it every night.
Do you know Travis at all, by the way? Did you know him beforehand?
No.
I want to go to your career because you have a chance. I hope you don't mind me talking about milestones coming up, but you have a chance to play 1,200 games, 1,100 points, I think, if I'm not mistaken. TJ, yeah. So you have a chance to get to 1,100 points, 1,200 games. I'm just curious. These numbers are phenomenal. To be 91st in even strength points in NHL history is mind-boggling to me. Not many players have ever gotten to play 1,200 games and all that stuff. I just, when you look back, and I also think of you being on the cover of EA Sports is also a milestone too. And I'm not joking. Like, where do you see all this? Like, what do you think when you see this?
Haven't scored enough goals. That's what I see right now.
You don't shoot enough.
Here we go. No, it's like those numbers are great. It's fun. It's I mean, I don't know, but it's not why we play the game. I just want to win hockey games and make playoffs and go from there. Like all those stats. It's great. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it more when I'm done playing. But at the end of the day, that's not the goal. That's not why I play hockey. So it's not something I really think of.
All right, fair enough. Can I need you to, because you're a veteran, you've gone through lots of rumors. There's so much. There was a time when lots of these trade rumors about Brady Tkachuk and all this thing about, like, when you were seeing this or hearing this, what were your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big social media guy. I saw it on Twitter or something, and I was like, call Brady right away. And he's just like shaking his head, and he's like, like none of this is true. And I knew none of this was true. So it's not. I thought about it for about a minute, and then I was on a back burner. It's not something that I have the energy to think of. I have enough on my plate with my kids that those kind of rumors. It's not something that I'm gonna lose sleep over.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
does that get in the room? The only question I have is, does that stuff get in the room very often? Does it
Rumors?
cause much of it? Yeah, well, like sometimes rumors can be a distraction. I'm just curious if stuff like that, with him being rumored to be traded or whatever, or wanting out, does that stuff cause any issues just in
No.
the room?
No, none. No. Not that I
The
know
other
of.
one, then I'm going to get with the other one, and then I have no more rumor questions, I promise. There was
Yeah.
chatter about Jacob Chicker not being happy in the room, and then there was some talk about you and him. But you and him golfed the other day together. I know that you would go eat dinner lots of times together, at least on the road. Was that like, is there anything to just the room not being overly happy? But that also plays into the fact that perhaps if you don't win, not everybody's happy.
No, I don't think he was unhappy. I mean, like you just said there, if you're not winning, there's going to be issues. There's going to be guys not happy, and but no, it's not. I mean, that's a question for him. I don't.
Yeah.
If he was unhappy, he didn't tell me, and I did play golf with him, and I did beat him. So that's one thing to say. But no, that's not. I don't know. I'm not a big rumor guy, and
Yeah.
that's one of them. I don't know.
You know, it's funny. Everybody, Wally, when we get out of the game, everybody thinks the media thinks the players are all talking about this. Believe me, there's so much more to worry about. You're like,
Yeah.
you're not sitting before the game. Oh boy, this guy said this about me, and that guy. Like, it's not discussed.
So there's a couple players I want to ask you about, and because I've waited 2 years to ask you, but Ridley Gregg, when you see him, what are your thoughts on him as a player?
I think Ridley's a guy that's only going to get better, and he's going to get better real quick. And there was last year. I thought he played great. He plays on the edge, plays the right way. He's responsible defensively and brings offense. I mean, he's a 200-foot player that you don't want to play against. So definitely happy he's on our side.
Two of
Can I
the
ask you
best
about the slap shot.
Yeah,
Let me
two
just
of
ask
the
about the
best.
empty netter.
Two of the best slap shots of the year, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, I was kind of crazy. I was on the bench. I was laughing. The whole thing was, you think he's just gonna put it in and game's over, and he just wanted to make sure it was in, I guess.
I won't even get into what you thought of it as a veteran in the NHL. The other player, Shane Pinto, and where you see his game progressing to.
Yeah, I'm a big Shane Pinto fan. He's like those two guys, offensively and defensively. They're just so responsible, and you don't really see that from younger centermen, that they can play defense and offense. And I think they were playing together at one point last year, and it was just a treat to watch them play. And they're. I love both of those guys, and I only think they're gonna get only better, and it's gonna be soon.
Hey, Claude, Pinto strikes me a guy. I've ran into him a few times around town. He just seems like one of those personalities that kind of lights up the room. Like, seems like he's got it's a likable type of personality that's really good for the dressing room. And no coincidence, when he came back, it gave you guys a nice little spark.
Yeah, he's a goof. Me and him go at it pretty much every day, and I love him because he loves to compete at absolutely everything, and he likes to chirp, and and on and off the ice he goes hard. So when you see a young guy going hard in practice, going hard in games, and in the gym, it's just great.
Do you think people underestimate how good Pinto and Gregg are?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I have a question.
You want me to explain it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Gotta expand on that. Come on.
I thought it was a yes or no question. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I just curious. I try to find stuff on the internet that sometimes is entertaining. And I did remember I had a friend of mine who played junior A in Hearst, and he told me about the jersey in Hearst. And I've never known an actual person to have a crest made of them. The Hearst Lumberjacks are
Wow.
you, and includes your initials on his arm in a tattoo. Uh, this to me is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, Hearst, for the ones that know where Hearst is, it's a small town, and everybody loves hockey. Everybody loves sports, and it's I moved there when I moved back. I moved to Orleans when I was 14. So all my memories back then when I was a kid, it was awesome. And then we were able to get the Lumberjacks to Hearst. That was maybe, oh boy, it's been a while, maybe 6, 7 years ago now. And there's 4,000 people in the town, and there'll be close to 800 people at the game. So it just shows how the whole town is just behind the team. The players that go play there, they absolutely love it. It's a French town, but
Mm.
I mean everybody loves going there, and they're kind of the man when they go to Hearst because everybody just loves the Lumberjacks.
Did Pierre LeBrun, was he a little bit jealous it wasn't him on the look?
I think he was runner up. I think I'm not sure though.
Okay. Do you have any special hidden talents?
Uh I mean a few, I guess. I'm a
Oh.
I'm a decent bowler. I played in the
Nice.
bowling league when I was like 12, 13 years old. So I know it's weird a little bit, but
Big ball or small ball?
small ball.
Okay.
But now we play big balls because it's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a few, but I'd rather not say.
There was somebody in the chat earlier that brought up you played slow pitch in Orleans when you were younger. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, when we moved to Orleans, we had me and all my buddies from Hearst. They all came to university here, and we played for a good 12 years, maybe. I haven't played in a while, so I kind of miss it. But that was a lot of fun.
Steve from Ottawa brought that up. So what has been, I guess, the best part, other than being home close to your family, about playing in Ottawa in your hometown so far?
I mean, I gotta say, it's probably just my kids. My kids being able to see my parents and her parents, and just seeing just family, and you don't get that opportunity if you're playing somewhere else. And you know I never thought I would play for the Ottawa Sanders in my life when I was in Philly. I never thought that would be a possibility. And you know it's I'd say that.
By the way, pickleball. Where are you at with the pickleball in the team rankings?
I'm the best player on the team. I'd say I think me and Stutzel, I think we're 1 and 2, or 1A, 1B. We have some great battles. We always start the year at the start of the year, like around camp, we get some big matches, and then we're pretty tired. So it's hard during the year to play because we're so competitive that like we'll play one game and then whoever loses wants to play another one. So during the season we don't play, but usually before camp it can get pretty competitive.
Where does Alfie rank then?
Oh, I
You
haven't
beat
played Alfie, but
Oh.
yeah, he would probably beat me, but he's not a player, so it doesn't count.
So will you entertain him asking you to play?
We were supposed to play a few times, but we just played a back to back. I was tired. He was fresh, so there was no way I was gonna play
Not a
him.
chance. Not a chance.
What's the angriest you've been with Tim Stützle on the ice?
Oh boy.
We've seen a couple times. It looks like you two have had a chat.
Yeah, it's great though. He's this kid's hilarious, and I mean we'll go at it. He doesn't. I mean we don't really yell at each other, but literally 5 minutes after we're gonna be laughing about it. But we kind of have the green light to each other to just kind of give it to each other, which is great. I think that's how it should be. It's nothing personal. We're trying to win a hockey game, and if we don't like what your line mate's doing, like there's definitely better ways than to yell at each other. But I love playing with him. He's so competitive that that I love going out there with him and trying to figure out how to win a hockey game.
I watch him sometimes, Claude, and I don't think he knows what he's gonna do. Like he's going this way, like his edge work is unbelievable. Like he seems to make things up on the fly.
Yeah, I think he does. But even in practice, he'll do something, and it's pretty impressive.
I don't want to take anything away from the guys in the past, Claude, but honestly, just getting Ullmark in the net and getting some consistency. Because let's be honest, since Craig Anderson left, how nice is it to just have a goaltender where, hey, just need a few saves here, little consistency, and bring some confidence to the group.
Yeah, I mean, Ullmark had some great season, like I said, like the last 2 years. I'm not even sure about 3 years ago. I think he was in Buffalo before, but we have to do a better job in front of our goaltenders. You look at numbers, and sometimes their numbers won't be good, but it's the kind of chances that we give. I think and it's not on the D, it's not on the forward, it's on everybody. There's 5 guys on the ice. It could be one guy making a mistake, then the other guys are in trouble. So I think it's not the numbers. I think it's more we need to be better in front of the goalies to. If they do get a chance. It's not a grade A chance.
You probably know this. Do you know how many goals you've scored on Linus Ullmark?
Oh God, I would say I remember 1, so I'm gonna go with 2.
3.
There you
Nice.
The one with Ottawa, it was assisted by Dylan Gambrell. And then you scored 2 with Philly, 1 assisted by Couturier and Voracek, and then 1 was unassisted. So
That's good to know. I
So
got that on him. But he did stop me probably 83 times, so I don't know.
And by the way, his numbers for the last 6 years have been phenomenal. There's a lot of excitement, and I don't want to belabor Linus Ullmark coming to this group, but there's a lot of excitement around having him in the net as a Vezina Trophy winner. And the city is pumped about it. And does it carry over to the players when you step on the ice? And I know you kind of already answered this, but you have a Vezina Trophy winning guy behind you. Like if you make a mistake, you probably might be okay for a bit here.
Yeah, well, I personally never had a chance to play with a goalie that won the Vezina, so it's definitely exciting. And just knowing him, playing against him, I hated playing against him. He's so big, and he's competitive, and he's very smart on the ice. So having him on my side, on our side, it's definitely something we're excited about.
Do the chirps change then in practice, or do you still stay the same?
Oh, they probably get worse. But we'll see. I'm not sure how he's gonna respond, or he's gonna be throwing his stick at me, or but I don't know. We'll see. Early on, we're gonna test him and see how he responds.
I think he said he's a little bit of a stick thrower because we asked him that question. He says he'll toss it from time to time.
Yeah, I won't be chirping then.
So what's the angriest you've gotten a goalie, and who is it?
I don't think I've ever got mad at a goalie, because I know I can't do their job, so I can't be giving it to them.
I didn't know if one of them you just were chirping him so much he got angry. That's what I was curious about.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, how many more years can you play in the National Hockey League, Claude Giroux?
I love how you use my full name there. I don't know. It's I want to play. I love the game. Till I don't like the game anymore, I'll probably stop. But right now, I still love it. So go 1 year at a time right now.
Okay. We are going to hopefully get Steve Stajos on next week, which we will ask him about giving you an extension. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
And they don't have to talk about it anymore. So appreciate your time. I've been anxiously waiting for you to come back on the show. So thank you for taking some time out of a day in the summer when you don't have to. Much appreciated.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Claude.
thanks, guys. Take
Cheers,
care,
brother.
guys.
Take care. Have a great season. Claude Giroux.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.